There seems to be an increasing number of natural disasters these days. Everything is described in terms of it being the hottest, the driest, the wettest, the windiest on record. The debate seems to be shifting away from has human activity contributed to all of this to what are we going to do about it? Of course, there have always been natural disasters, but somehow the scale feels different. It's no longer just a poor third world problem. Have you ever thought about what you would do if you lost everything in a flood or a wildfire, a hurricane or a tornado? Not a pleasant thought. How would you cope? Not just with the physical loss, but more importantly, from the emotional trauma. Keep watching. Hello, I'm Phil Dean, and this is It's About Time. When news crews interview people who've lost loved ones or everything they own, they'll ask, what are you going to do now? If they are able to speak at all, they may say something like, we'll start over, we'll rebuild. You can always replace things, but you can't replace people. True, but recovery can be a long and frustrating process, even under the best of circumstances. The usual first response is overwhelmed, stunned, followed by resolve. The focus is usually on the material, what you can see. But what about what you can't see? The mental trauma. How do you come back from that? It's not just from natural disasters. It can be from the loss of a loved one, the loss of your livelihood, the loss of cherished memories. The reality is you can't go back to the way it was. You have to start from where you are and work forward from there. And you can't and shouldn't do it alone. You need help. You need to talk it out with friends and family or find a professional therapist who can help you sort through the emotional rubble as you get on with your life. Accept that things won't return to your old normal, but you can and will create a new normal. I'm not just talking about the physical things, though they're pretty important. Everyone has basic needs that must be met, like food, shelter, and water. After that comes emotional recovery. Disasters and traumas leave emotional holes that need fixing, just like a leaking roof. But you can't just throw a blue tarp over it. After an emotional trauma, the goal is not to immediately replace everything. It's to get to a place of safety. It's hard to move on when you don't feel safe, and that leaves a lot of people stuck in a bad place. You've got to move, you want to move, but the question is, how? Where do I start? The answer is here and now. It's the only place anyone can start anything, let alone recovery from a trauma. Unfortunately, the advice people hear most often is shake it off, move on, don't think about it. Don't think about what you've lost. Think about all that you still have and will have in the future. Getting help is critical, but the reality is there's a lot of DIY involved. You shouldn't expect someone to come in and fix everything for you. You'll have to do much of the work yourself. One of the best ways to help yourself is to help someone else. Some call this psychological first aid. When you are too self-focused, you feel alone. Look around for others who are experiencing what you're going through. Don't invite them to your pity party. Reach out in mutual support. We all need a safe place, a place to bring order into the chaos. I covered many natural disasters in my role as a network news field producer. One of the most memorable experiences came in New Orleans after Hurricane Katrina. It caused extensive flooding and damage throughout the city. I saw a man picking up debris on Canal Street. He was putting them into neat piles. I said something like, "Man, you've got a big job ahead of you." He replied, My mother always said that when you don't know what to do, pick something up and put it away. It'll make you feel better. I joined him, and it did. You need order, and you need a routine in order to restore a sense of control, and that is the first step toward finding a new safe place. This is especially true for children. It's one of the reasons getting them back into the school routine is so important. Kids will also pick up on the emotions of the adults around them. You are being watched. Becoming a stable role model for others helps you. Even if you're feeling a little shaky on the inside, if you are acting confident and hopeful on the outside, it's sending signals to your brain that everything is going to be all right. You have to take care of yourself. You can't be of use to others if you're incapable of functioning. For many, a pet is a great path toward normal. They offer unconditional love and are totally dependent on us. In the process of helping them feel safe, it helps us feel safe. If you like this video, feel free to share it with others. Subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate it. For It's About Time, I'm Phil Dean. Stay safe. I'll see you next time.